Thank you. Good evening. I'm the mystery guest. I want to tell you why I'm here and why I'm excited to be here. Those are smart machines. Thank you. I'm going to be serving as a spokesperson for Atari because I'm excited about what Atari is doing. I went up to Sunnyvale. In fact, before I even went up to Sunnyvale, when they first proposed this to me, the first place I went was to a computer store. I spent part of a Saturday in an ordinary computer store in an ordinary neighborhood, and I just went in to shop around because I wanted to see if I really was interested in what these folks were producing. And not only was I interested, I was excited in what I saw. And not only was I excited, but people in the store kept coming up to me, telling me, "Oh, you're looking for a computer? Atari's the best one. You got to get that." That fortunately is the truth. And then I went to Sunnyvale, where the creative people and the engineers and the scientists, and they all are creative people, invent and develop these computers and games, and what I will be doing is trying to help Atari get the country in touch with computers. And I saw the people who make these marvelous devices, and I was fascinated with them, and I found out that we seem to share a lot of the same interests. Atari is an entertainment company, Atari is an education company, and it's a communication company, and I'm interested in all of those things. I'm obviously interested in entertainment, first of all, because I am an entertainer and I've spent a lifetime doing that. But we're interested, I found out up at Sunnyvale, we're interested in very much the same notion of what entertainment is, I think. Because to me, entertainment is not just having fun. I love to laugh and I love to make people laugh. But I also enjoy learning a skill, and I enjoy getting insight into something. I enjoy learning. And that is all, to me, entertainment. And as far as I can tell, the people who are inventive and creative at Atari feel the same way about entertainment. A game is fun, and it's also an opportunity to learn. And the computers are not only opportunities to learn, but they're also fun. And that's how I look at it, and I think that's how the people who make them look at it at Atari. And education interests me because I'm a parent, and I've been interested in the education of my own kids for many years. And I think that the education that Atari is managing to accomplish through what it gives the public in its product, it falls into a number of categories, some of them more subtle than others. For instance, there are kind of obvious ones like the programs, the 2,000 programs, some of which are clearly openly educational, wonderful things that I was fascinated to see in the store that day. A program that teaches you Italian with a real voice speaking in real Italian, so you really get the accent, a program that teaches you to read music and compose music on the thing. These things fascinated me. There's one that I can't wait to get my hands on, which is a game, and this is where it crosses over. Where is it learning or is it fun? And how can it be learning if it isn't both? Where and this was invented by a 17-year-old kid. You play a game, and in the playing of the game, you cannot avoid learning touch typing. I think it's great. I don't know how to type. I type with 2 fingers. And I expect in a couple of months I'm going to be able to attack that keyboard with all my digits. Won't that be great? You don't know what you've done for me. There's access to the computer that Atari is making possible that I think is a more subtle form of education, but it's in a way it's the most basic kind, because I think of computers as a kind. When I look at a computer, I think of it as a kind of a wise old person at whose knee I find myself like a child, knowing I can learn a lot from this person if only I could understand the language. And by the way they manufacture them, by the way they make it easy to understand what's going on with them, they increase the access that people have to computers, which is essential to be able to use them. I know from my own personal experience that's true, because I already own a computer, and it's not an Atari computer. And I don't use it. I have an assistant who uses it, and the reason I don't use it is because it's confusing to me. It's not very friendly to me. And Atari, from what I've seen, I'm happy to say, looks to me to be not only friendly, but attractive. Somebody I want to spend a lot of time with. There's just the whole simple question of computer literacy that I think Atari, through this kind of effort, is going to produce more and more of, not only in this country but around the world. And I think of that as a service, and I'm glad that that's happening, because I think it's inevitable. I think that those of us who don't have computer literacy are going to be behind the 8 ball. And what I like is they're able to spread it around. I mean, there are not only the exciting machines that I can afford. There are machines that bring this access, this computer literacy, to people with limited means. There are something like, how many? There are 18 million of those games, those 2,600 games. Is it 18 million? 18. Yeah. People already have, there are 18 million people, 18 million homes that already have computers, but they're called games. All they need is this keyboard that goes on top of it, and they've got a full keyboard computer, and they can do all the things that you can do with the highfalutin computers. Well, I find that exciting, because I think that really democratizes the future, and that interests me a lot. And I said that Atari's in the communication business, and that interests me a lot too, because I think it's all communication. That every product that they make is a communicating product. Even the games. I know that parents and children within a family communicate over the games. You know, they'll say, "How are you doing? Can I do better than you?" And that's usually the parent, and the parent is usually wrong. You know, because the kids can work those skills so much faster, it seems. But that can bring families together. At a Thanksgiving dinner at my house not long ago, we had several families around the table, from little kids all the way up to pretty old people. And it was interesting to me that the one subject that everybody could talk about around that table was Pac-Man. Well, this is really a case of, you mentioned local park and you get a hand here. But that happened to have been true. The little kids and the middle-aged people and the older people, they had all had first-hand experience with it, and they were all saying, well, how many boards can you clear? No, I know the pattern. I can do the first 3 boards and all that stuff. And it brought them together. There's communication on that level alone. Obviously, there's communication among computers, and I can't wait until I've got my office and my home wired so that I can talk from my terminal to the office and back and forth like that. There's a lot I can't wait for. I can't wait for that whole Excel line with the excuse me for those of you who aren't in the family I'm talking to. The built-in modem, you know, and the voice synthesizer. the Atari crowd cheering. I really can't wait for those. I can't wait for that pen that I hear is a big hit over at the exhibition. I saw that Friday at Sunnyvale, and the man who had invented it had been up all night putting the finishing touches on it, and running that across the screen and seeing it show up on the display screen is a very exciting thing. And I started immediately to think of uses I could put it to, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. They involve signing autographs automatically. I can't wait for the Atari Tel. You know, that's that telephone that they're not telling us too much about. But it sounds so computerized and so interesting, so able to do. I don't know what it is, but I want one. I want to get that program and finally learn how to speak Italian. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm excited. And I really feel good about it. I'm looking forward to an interesting and fascinating time working with the people that I've met. I know the press is here, and if you have some questions, I could take some questions from you, or we could just dance if you like. Pardon me?
Any idea of the money behind that?
Do I have any idea of the money behind it? No, I have no. I'm so excited. I didn't have the heart to It didn't seem fair. Anybody else? Any other personal questions? Yes.
Commercials. What other things will you be doing to act as spokesman?
We haven't gone into all of it yet. We've had. I'll tell you, most of our conversations so far have been about the products themselves. I've really been trying to understand what Atari is doing, and later we'll work out exactly how I can be helpful. We just haven't got to it yet, and we wanted to make an announcement tonight because this seemed like a very good time to do it, and so there, you know, the details, the fine points of how we'll structure that advertising campaign, we'll work out a little bit later.
Does this mean that you and Jamie Farr aren't friends anymore?
Why is he working for a rival computer?
Software.
Oh, well, that's good. Software is good. Everybody needs software. Yes.
Are you planning to join a local users group?
No, but I'll probably, you know, get into electronic mail and stuff. I really don't know what I'm going to do because well, like you heard how interested I am in it. Yeah.
Atari is reportedly losing a lot of money. Is this industry leader or a turnaround situation as far as you see it?
Could I repeat the question? I don't want to repeat that question. The question is based on what Steve Ross referred to in his annual report, which I thought he put very well. As I remember, he said that last year was a disappointing year for the company, although they did better than they had ever done in history. So I thought it was an honest way to put it and a gutsy way to put it. My job, I think, is not to certainly not to make promises or to make any kind of guesses about what my participation will mean for the company. I think what my job is to try to communicate to the people some of the excitement that I think is there. This is, as far as I can see, what I have seen of this company is vitality and imagination and creativity and excitement. And I think if we can communicate that as it's found in the machines that are made by and the software made by this company, then I think we'll let the people, you know, respond to that as they do. It seems to me.
What are you going to
doing besides helping sell Ataris over the next 5 years? You going to be making any more series? Or
Oh, yeah.
movies?
The question is, what am I going to be doing besides helping Atari in the next 5 years? And the answer to that is that I'll be doing, co-producing with my partner Martin Bregman, a television series of the Four Seasons, which I won't be in, but which will star Jack Weston. I have 2 more movies to make for Universal, which is owned by another company. Sorry to say. I have 2 more movies to make there, which I'm supposed to write and direct and act in. So I'll be very busy over the next 5 years. Well, I'll tell you what I'll be doing is I'll be writing my movies on Ataris. I can tell you that. Yes, sir. You bet. We could probably get this like a revival meeting. Just go an extra step with it. You know? Why are we holding back like this?
Atari does not credit video game designers. How do you, as an entertainer, feel about that?
Didn't credit them? You mean never the show?
Never credits them on the packages, in game reviews. Doesn't credit them.
The man here says Atari doesn't credit the video game designers. Obviously, a video game designer himself. No, I'll tell you something. As a creative person, I would like to see that. They've asked me for my ideas too, and that's my first idea. I think. I do believe that creative people should obviously get credit. Should credit where credit is due, and I'm sure, and I do know, I do hear that they're well compensated, but I think credit. Any other complaints?
When's the new MASH 707 cartridge coming out?
Well, another company one is a MASH 707 cartridge, 407 cartridge coming out. There is a MASH game, but another company produces it, I think. Yeah, so too late for that. Sorry, but it's a good idea. His idea was a little better. Just move back a little. Yeah. You didn't have your hand up, sir? Oh no. Sorry, I thought you. Anybody else before we? Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to have some more shrimp. Thank you very much.